from Mediterranean shores to high-altitude ridges and Saharan basins. Terrain changes quickly and dramatically. These shifts create distinct ecosystems and force constant adaptation in the way people live, build, and move. With two coastlines and uneven rainfall, managing water and development becomes a regional balancing act. Welcome to Morocco, where natural variation isn't the exception. Toward the Atlantic, urban centers like Casablanca and Rabat thrive as economic and political hubs tied to trade and coastal access. The south transitions into the Sahara with nomadic traditions, oasis agriculture, and more extreme conditions shaping daily life. Climate, language, and customs vary by region, but together they reflect a long history of adaptation to environment and empire. In this video, we explore how its physical geography shapes the country's structure, strategy, and spirit. But first, unscramble a quick quiz. Hint: it's a blue-painted town in the Rif Mountains, often called the Blue Pearl. Got your guess? Stick around. We are ready to take a flight to Morocco. When you arrive in Africa, one thing is certain: you won't want to miss the journey across its immense expanse of golden sands and the distinct heat characteristic of this region. That's right, we're talking about the Sahara Desert. It is the largest desert on Earth, spanning nearly 1/3 of the African continent, with a total area of around 9 million square kilometers. A significant portion of the Sahara lies within Morocco, particularly in the eastern and southeastern parts of the country. The region is marked by extreme dryness, featuring rocky mountains, colossal sand dunes, and broad valleys. Its towering dunes, reaching heights of up to 180 meters, form surreal and enchanting scenery. Despite the unforgiving climate, the Sahara still hosts several animal species and hardy vegetation, especially near underground water reserves. Roughly 10,000 years ago, the Sahara was not an arid land, but a verdant region teeming with lakes and rivers. Evidence of ancient civilizations, like cave paintings, indicates that the area once supported both human life and diverse wildlife. Historically, the Sahara played a vital role in trans-Saharan commerce, particularly during the eras of the Berber tribes and the Carthaginian Empire. Legendary trade paths, such as the Golden Road, linked North Africa to sub-Saharan regions, catalyzing the growth of hubs like Timbuktu. Contemporary expeditions primarily seek to uncover insights into its geological evolution and to assess the presence of valuable natural resources like oil and natural gas. One wonder right next to the Sahara that attracts a lot of attention is none other than the Atlas Mountains. The Atlas Mountains are famous for their spectacular landscapes, including snow-capped peaks in winter, deep valleys and canyons with strange limestone formations. The region has a distinct climate. The south, near the Sahara, is arid and hot. The north and center, near the Mediterranean, are milder and rainier. The range lies on a tectonic plate boundary, with seismic activity and shifting layers of the Earth's crust. From the peaks, you can see the entire surrounding area, with fields, Berber villages, and the Sahara Desert in the distance. These mountains are home to many Berber tribes, an indigenous ethnic group in North Africa. They have lived here for thousands of years, maintaining their traditions of agriculture, herding, and weaving. Berber villages, built of stone and earth, still exist today, mainly along the mountain slopes. The Atlas Mountains serve as a crossroads between major cultures. Ancient trade routes pass through this mountain range, connecting the Mediterranean with the Sahara and the southern regions. This was where caravans of goods, spices, and gold were traded, creating the conditions for the flourishing of cities like Marrakech. These trade routes linked the Sahara with the coastal cities of North Africa. It was also the scene of many historical events, especially during the wars between empires like the Romans and the Muslim empires. Aït Benhaddou is one of the most famous ancient villages in Morocco, located along the ancient trade route connecting Marrakech and the Sahara. It is a prominent landmark in the Atlas Mountains region, notable for its unique architectural structures made mainly of clay and stone, built in the Berber architectural style. Aït Benhaddou is not only an important historical site, but also an attractive tourist destination with unique natural and cultural features. Constructed primarily from rammed earth and clay brick, its structures blend seamlessly into the surrounding desert landscape. The site dates back to the 11th century, with most of its current buildings reconstructed in the 17th century using ancestral techniques. The village's strategic location enabled it to flourish as a hub for traders transporting salt, gold, ivory, and textiles. Defensive walls, corner towers, and a communal granary is its dual role as both a residence and a stronghold. Within its walls lie a mosque, caravanserai, public square, and remnants of both Muslim and Jewish cemeteries. The site's architectural integrity and cultural significance earned it UNESCO World Heritage status in 1987. The main reason is that it is one of the rare remaining examples of traditional clay architecture in the Sahara and Maghreb region. Despite centuries of erosion and depopulation, a handful of families continue to inhabit the Sahara, preserving its living legacy. Restoration efforts have adhered strictly to traditional materials and methods, ensuring historical authenticity. Ouzoud Falls is one of the most beautiful waterfalls in Morocco and a popular tourist destination in the country. The waterfall is in the east of Marrakech, in the Middle Atlas Mountains, in the province of Azalao, with a total height of about 110 meters. The waterfall is divided into several levels, each level forming streams of water flowing down steep cliffs. Natural pools at the base of the falls provide a rare freshwater habitat in an otherwise semi-arid region. The trail leading to the base of the falls offers a delightful stroll, flanked by countless olive trees that provide welcome shade along the way. Upon reaching the top, visitors will find a cluster of charming, time-worn mills that are still operational. One of the most delightful surprises at Ouzoud Falls is the lively troop of monkeys swinging through the branches overhead. Though wild, they're unusually playful with guests, especially if snacks are involved. These cheeky creatures often leap onto arms or legs without hesitation, making for an amusing and memorable encounter. Ouzoud Falls is a year-round destination. The summer months draw larger crowds, yet they're ideal for those hoping to take a refreshing dip in the pools below. In contrast, winter brings stronger water flow and far fewer visitors, offering a more serene experience. There are a couple of public transport options for reaching the falls. Do you think Morocco is just deserts and high mountains in Africa? No, Morocco also has a vast coastline that will surely delight you. Legzira Beach is a geological marvel, sculpted by the relentless rhythm of the Atlantic Ocean. This coastal treasure is renowned for its colossal natural stone arch, a masterpiece formed over millennia through the erosive power of wind and waves. The beach spans approximately 8 kilometers, characterized by its ochre-red cliffs, coarse golden sands, and dramatic tidal contrasts. Legzira's name is derived from the Berber word tizrir, meaning island, referencing the isolated rock formations that punctuate the shoreline. Historically, the site served as a quiet fishing enclave, with local communities relying on the sea's bounty long before tourism emerged. The most iconic of its arches tragically collapsed in 2016. Yet the remaining structure continues to captivate geologists, photographers, and adventurers alike. Composed primarily of fragile red sandstone, the arch is accessible during low tide, revealing intricate textures shaped by centuries of marine abrasion. The beach's microclimate, moderated by Atlantic breezes, ensures temperate conditions year-round, making it a haven for nature enthusiasts. Legzira has become a magnet for paragliders and surfers, drawn by its consistent winds and uncrowded wave breaks. Conservation efforts led by local stakeholders have helped preserve the beach's pristine condition despite increasing visitor numbers. This beach is both strange and majestic, right? If you want to come here, please comment number 1 below. Welcome to Morocco's capital, Rabat, located on the Atlantic coast, and one of the country's most important cities, not only politically, but also culturally and historically. With its mix of ancient and modern features, Rabat offers an interesting space for visitors to explore. Rabat is located in the coastal area, where the Bou Regreg River flows into the Atlantic Ocean, about 90 kilometers north of Casablanca and the capitals of other North African countries such as Algiers and Tunis. Due to its favorable location near the sea, Rabat has a mild Mediterranean climate, with hot and humid summers and cool winters. Rabat has a long history, starting from Roman times when it was called Sala Colonia. Founded in the 12th century by the Almohad dynasty, the city was originally conceived as a fortified military base known as Ribat al-Fath, or Stronghold of Victory. The city's defining landmark, the Hassan Tower, was intended to be the tallest minaret in the world before construction halted in 1199. However, the city flourished under Muslim rule in the 12th century when Ali ibn Yusuf of the Almohad dynasty built a fortress and many important buildings. Rabat became the official capital of Morocco under the Alawite dynasty in 1912, after Morocco became a French protectorate. After Morocco gained independence in 1956, Rabat remained the capital of the country. Recognized by UNESCO in 2012, Rabat is celebrated as a modern capital and historic city, honoring its dual identity. The mausoleum of Muhammad V, adorned with intricate zellige and carved cedar, enshrines the tombs of Morocco's revered monarchs. Rabat is a perfect combination of ancient and modern buildings. You will see a mix of Islamic, French, and Berber architecture in the buildings. Chefchaouen, also known as the Blue City, is one of Morocco's most distinctive and distinctive destinations. The city is located in northwestern Morocco, in the Rif Mountains, about 220 kilometers from the capital Rabat, and about 115 kilometers from the city of Tangier. The city is located at an altitude of about 600 m above sea level, with fresh, cool air, especially in the summer. Chefchaouen was founded in 1471 by the Mamluks under the leadership of Ali ibn Rashid al-Alami. Initially, it was a military area built to protect Morocco from invasion by Spanish and Portuguese forces. After Morocco gained independence, Chefchaouen began to develop into a small trading city, but it retained many of its unique Berber and Muslim cultures. During the 20th century, Chefchaouen became a refuge for the Jewish community fleeing persecution in Spain. The Jews brought a distinct cultural influence to the city, with buildings and lifestyles bearing strong Jewish influences. One of the most distinctive things about Chefchaouen is that the houses and streets are painted sky blue. There are many reasons for this choice of color, from religious to aesthetic and cultural. Some theories suggest that the blue represents heaven, reflecting religious beliefs, while others suggest that the blue helps keep the houses cool during the hot summer. Rising from the Atlantic shoreline in Casablanca, the Hassan II Mosque commands awe as a monumental fusion of faith, artistry, and engineering. Commissioned by King Hassan II and completed in 1993, the mosque was envisioned as a spiritual beacon linking earth and ocean. Designed by French architect Michel Pinceau, the structure was realized through the craftsmanship of over 6,000 Moroccan artisans. Its minaret, soaring to 210 meters, remains the tallest religious tower on the planet and projects a laser beam directed toward Mecca. The mosque's prayer hall accommodates 25,000 worshippers, while its esplanade can host an additional 80,000 during major religious gatherings. Constructed partially over the sea, the mosque rests on a man-made promontory fortified by breakwaters to withstand Atlantic swells. The retractable roof, a feat of modern engineering, allows natural light to flood the prayer space during favorable weather. Intricate zellige mosaics, hand-carved cedar ceilings, and marble sourced from Agadir and Tafur Out exemplify Morocco's artisanal legacy. Quranic verses and exquisite calligraphy adorn the walls, reinforcing the mosque's role as a sanctuary of devotion and reflection. Adjacent facilities include a madrasa, a museum of Islamic heritage, and a vast library regarded as one of the most comprehensive in the Muslim world. The mosque's construction was funded through public donations, symbolizing national unity and collective reverence. Marrakech is one of the most famous and important cities in Morocco, known for its historical beauty, stunning Islamic architecture, and mystical atmosphere. Marrakech is not only one of the 4 imperial cities of the country, but also a cultural, commercial, and tourist center. Founded in 1070 by the Almoravid dynasty, the city was conceived as a fortified oasis at the crossroads of Saharan trade and Berber highlands. The Medina, encircled by 12th century ramparts, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site renowned for its labyrinthine souks and architectural grandeur. The Koutoubia Mosque, completed in the 12th century, dominates the skyline with a 77-meter minaret that inspired the Giralda in Seville. Marrakech flourished under the Saadian dynasty in the 16th century, culminating in the construction of the opulent El Badi Palace and Saadian tombs. The city's pulse beats strongest in Jama' el Fna, a vast square alive with storytellers, musicians, and culinary theatrics from dusk till dawn. Marrakech's Gouelis district, developed during the French Protectorate, introduced Art Deco elegance and modern urban planning to the cityscape. The Bahia Palace, a 19th century masterpiece, exemplifies Moroccan craftsmanship with its intricate zelai, carved cedar, and serene courtyards. Marrakech has long captivated artists, scholars, and statesmen. One of them is Winston Churchill, who famously painted its sunsets from the La Mamounia Gardens. Hidden within the folds of Morocco's northern interior, Fez Medina is a living manuscript of Islamic civilization and urban heritage. Founded in 789 AD by Idris I, the Medina is the oldest part of Fez and one of the most complete medieval cities still in existence. Its labyrinthine layout comprises over 9,000 alleys, forming the world's largest contiguous, car-free urban zone. The Medina flourished under the Marinid dynasty in the 13th and 14th centuries, when it eclipsed Marrakech as the kingdom's capital. Al-Qarawiyyin University, established in 859 by Fatima al-Fihri, is recognized by UNESCO as the oldest continuously operating degree-granting institution. Architectural marvels such as the Bu Inaniya and Al-Adareen madrasas showcase intricate zellage, carved stucco, and cedar artistry emblematic of Marinid design. The Chouara tannery, dating back over a millennium, continues to produce leather using traditional methods in vibrant stone vats. Fez Medina's souks are organized by craft, preserving guild traditions in textiles, metalwork, ceramics, and perfumery. The Nejareen Museum of Wooden Arts and Crafts, housed in a restored caravanserai, celebrates Morocco's woodworking legacy. The Medina's skyline is punctuated by minarets and domes, with over 400 mosques serving as spiritual anchors for each neighborhood. In 1981, UNESCO inscribed Fez Medina as a World Heritage Site for its outstanding universal value and preservation of Islamic urbanism. In Morocco, do you know which city is located on the Atlantic coast and is one of the most important commercial, economic, and cultural centers of the country? Yes, it is Casablanca, which is one of the most important commercial, economic, and cultural centers of the country. Casablanca has the dynamism of a modern and charming city with a unique cultural heritage. Did you know that before becoming the beautiful place it is today, Casablanca has gone through a diverse historical past? Originally settled by Berbers in the 10th century BC, the area was later used by Phoenicians and Romans as a strategic trading port known as Anfa. The city was destroyed by the Portuguese in 1468 due to its association with piracy, then rebuilt as Casablanca in 1515 before being abandoned after the 1755 Lisbon earthquake. Sultan Muhammad bin Abdallah reconstructed the Medina in the late 18th century, renaming it Ad-Dar al-Bayyuta, the Arabic equivalent of White House. Casablanca's transformation accelerated under French occupation in 1907, evolving into a colonial showcase of Art Deco architecture and urban planning. During World War II, the city hosted the pivotal 1943 Casablanca Conference, where Roosevelt and Churchill strategized the Allied campaign. Today, Casablanca is Morocco's largest metropolis and economic powerhouse, handling over half of the nation's industrial output and financial transactions. The city's port is among the largest artificial harbors in the world, serving as a vital maritime gateway for North and West Africa. This is Morocco's main gateway for exporting agricultural products, goods, and importing industrial products. Back to Marrakech, we go to the magical Jardin Majorelle, a beloved landmark bursting with bold colors and botanical wonder. This tranquil retreat was dreamed up in 1923 by French painter Jacques Majorelle, who spent 4 decades transforming it into a living masterpiece. Right at the heart of the garden stands a striking cubist villa, designed by architect Paul Sinoir and painted in that unforgettable electric blue, now known as Majorelle blue. All around you, over 300 exotic plant species from 5 continents flourish: palms, bamboos, cacti, lilies, each carefully curated and arranged like brushstrokes on canvas. Financial troubles eventually led Majorelle to open the garden to the public in 1947, but after his passing, nature slowly reclaimed the space. In 1980, fashion icons Yves Saint Laurent and Pierre Berger stepped in, restoring it with great care and preserving every detail of its artistry. Today, tucked inside the garden, is the Berber Museum, home to a rich collection of Amazigh jewelry, textiles, and spiritual objects. As you wander through these blue-drenched paths and gentle fountains, remember this is not just a garden, it's a love letter to beauty, culture, and creativity. Few coastal cities in North Africa blend maritime legacy, fortified architecture, and cultural hybridity as seamlessly as Essaouira. Located on Morocco's Atlantic shoreline, this historic port city has served as a strategic anchorage since Phoenician and Carthaginian times. The Scala du Port, a seafront artillery platform lined with bronze cannons, once guarded the harbor against naval threats and now frames sweeping ocean vistas. In the 18th century, a blueprint Abdallah commissioned French architect Théodore Cornet to design a modern port city aligned with European trade ambitions. The resulting urban plan combined Vauban-style fortifications with Islamic Medina principles, creating a rare example of cross-cultural urbanism. Essaouira rapidly became Morocco's principal commercial gateway, linking sub-Saharan caravan routes with Atlantic maritime trade. Its Medina, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, preserves whitewashed facades, blue shutters, and a grid layout uncommon in traditional Moroccan cities. Sardine fishing remains the port's lifeblood, with dawn auctions echoing with the calls of vendors, gulls, and the rhythmic clatter of wooden crates. The harbor's channel, though narrow and treacherous, is naturally sheltered by offshore islets, making it a rare, safe anchorage along the Atlantic. Medieval maps labeled the site Mogador, a name derived from the Amazigh word for sanctuary, reflecting its strategic and spiritual significance. The port's architecture blends Portuguese, French, and Moroccan influences, creating a fortified ensemble that has remained remarkably intact. Despite its modest size today, the port retains its authenticity, drawing visitors with its sensory richness and historical gravitas. Essaouira's port endures not as a relic, but as a vibrant maritime stage where tradition, trade, and tide continue their timeless interplay. Ouarzazate is a city located in southern Morocco, known as the gateway to the Sahara Desert. Ouarzazate has a long history, dating back to the 11th century when the Almoravid dynasty built a fortress here. The purpose of the fortress was to protect the important trade route between Marrakech and the southern regions and the Sahara. Ouarzazate was founded in the 11th century under the Almoravid dynasty as a military center to protect the trade route between Marrakech and the Sahara. During the 16th century, under the Saadian dynasty, the city flourished and became an important point of trade and military importance, with the construction of kasbahs and defensive structures. Ouarzazate also has a history linked to Portugal and France, but has not been too influential, retaining its traditional culture and architecture. The city's elevation, at 1,160 meters, grants it a unique desert climate, scorching summers, crisp winters, and piercing Saharan light. Ouarzazate began to gain prominence in the 20th century, especially after being chosen as a filming location for international films. The city became the Hollywood of Morocco, with major film studios being built and becoming the filming location for famous films such as Gladiator, Lawrence of Arabia, The Mummy, and Game of Thrones. The Noor project is part of Morocco's national strategy to ensure sustainable energy and reduce dependence on fossil fuels such as oil and gas. This project is one of Morocco's biggest efforts to become a leading country in the field of renewable energy. The project has received great attention from international organizations and other countries looking to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and switch to clean energy. Merzouga is a small village located in southeastern Morocco, famous for its location right next to the Sahara Desert. This is one of the most famous destinations in Morocco for those who want to explore the majestic beauty of the desert and experience the unique Berber culture. The village is renowned for its traditional healing practice of sand bathing, believed to alleviate joint pain and rheumatism through thermal absorption. In 2006, catastrophic flash floods reshaped the landscape, displacing over 1,000 residents and highlighting the desert's volatile extremes. Merzouga's defining feature, the Erg Chebi Dunes, rise up to 150 meters and stretch over 28 kilometers, sculpted by centuries of wind and time. Despite its isolation, Merzouga has become a global destination for camel trekking and immersive Amazigh cultural experiences. One of the outstanding experiences when coming to Merzouga is riding a camel through the desert. Visitors can join camel trips through the sand dunes, feeling the quiet and vast atmosphere of the desert. In addition to riding camels, you can also join 4x, 4 trips, or trekking deep into the desert to explore the wild beauty of this area. Make sure you have an experienced local guide, as the desert can be dangerous without proper preparation. Featuring long beaches, a mild climate, and beautiful natural scenery, Agadir is one of Morocco's most popular and important tourist destinations. The name Agadir comes from the Amazigh language, meaning fortified granary. But trust me, it's packed with a lot more than grain these days. Some believe this vibrant city sits atop the remains of a Roman trading port, once known as Portus Risadir. Imagine togas and tagines side by side. In the 1500s, Portuguese explorers tried to claim this stretch of paradise, building a little fortress before local dynasties took it right back. Fast forward to 1911, and things got tense. A German gunboat showed up in the harbor, sparking the Agadir crisis that rattled colonial powers across Europe. The city's modern rise began in the early 1900s with a deep-sea port, turning Agadir into a booming center for sardines, silver, and sunshine. Then came tragedy. In 1960, a devastating earthquake flattened nearly everything. But Agadir didn't give up. It rebuilt with wide boulevards and a whole new vibe. Today, it's Morocco's most modern-looking city, where the sun glide past glassy hotels and palms sway along beachfront promenades. The harbor is still buzzing, exporting loads of goods and welcoming vessels from across the globe. It's like a meetup down there. And yes, the beach stretches for 9 glorious kilometers, perfect for camel rides, jet skis, or doing absolutely nothing. Up the hill, you'll find the nature here, proudly overlooking the city with a panoramic wow view. Bring your camera and your best pose. From blue mountain towns to red desert sands, Morocco is more than a backdrop. Its people have carved out lives in every terrain, fishing the Atlantic, farming the mountain valleys, and guiding caravans across Saharan dunes. Between coasts and highlands, cities and silence, the country blends nature and culture into something deeply rooted and remarkably resilient. If this video gave you a clearer view of Morocco, give it a like and share it with someone who loves geography or travel. Subscribe for more explorations where land and life intersect. Got a country in mind for our next stop? Let us know in the comments. We read everyone. And see you on the next journey.